Hello, and welcome to the LinkedIn Collective Studio, coming to you from the 71st Cannes Lion Festival of Creativity. I'm Santi Poshad, I'm the VP of Brand Marketing at LinkedIn, and I'm honored to be here today with Judy Toland, VP of Global Audience Marketing at Meta, and Sunil Desai, the VP of Brand Marketing at HubSpot. The topic of discussion today is the multifaceted future of B2B social. Our B2B marketing benchmark report found that social media is the top current channel for marketers and is expected to grow even further. With that in mind, I'm curious to hear about your top business priorities in the coming year and how you foresee social helping you achieve them. Judy, I'll start with you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. I have the pleasure of leading our global audience marketing team at Meta. We're a global team focused on large advertiser strategy and execution. Also, same thing for agencies and partners. And so it's a very wide-ranging role. And our priorities and our job is really, we have the unique opportunity of marketing to marketers. And so one of the things that we have to do is, first of all, is really practice what we preach, right? And what we're actually telling our advertisers this year, and something that we're adhering to as well, is making sure that we're harnessing all the influences of the evolving technology to get the most power for your marketing as you drive and look for business results. So everything from AI to performance solutions. And for us, social is all about connection. It's in our mission. It's who we are. Our Meta business brand is, our tagline is around every connection is an opportunity. So we really see social as the customer experience longevity roadmap, and for us to really build the connections across all of our customers and audiences.
Thank you, Judy. Sunil, what does next year look like for you in this space?
Next year, I think, is a really critical moment for HubSpot. We're a customer platform that engages marketers, salespeople, and customer support. We cover the entire go-to-market community. So similar to Judy, we also market to marketers. And social is sort of a very important part of our strategy because it allows us to engage every day with that audience, whether they're consuming content in a professional manner or on a personal manner when they're at home. And so it's a way for us to constantly be interacting with our audience.
We wouldn't be a Cannes if we didn't talk about creativity and sort of flexing that a little bit. Both of your brands have such a distinct personality, right? Both big brands, particularly with marketers, right? But definitely also consumers generally. I think you both have done a great job doing that. How do you look at creativity and humor as you think about reaching marketers?
We're here at Cannes, right? The Festival of Creativity, and creativity is so critical to all things that happen not only in social media, but from a marketing standpoint. Some of the key things that we're seeing, first of all, is just making sure that we continue to not only leverage creators as they create content, but also leveraging our social media opportunities to really provide an opportunity to connect with our audience, right? Be very authentic. And to show up in the unique ways that our brand shows up. Yeah. Now, you mentioned humor, right? Our brand is, my grandmother used to say, too much is given, much is expected, right? We have a platform that over 60% of the world leverages one of our apps every day. So we don't necessarily leverage humor with our brand, but we lean into the idea of personality, right? Where people can show up authentically, leveraging creators so that their brand can connect with those that are looking for that brand and with that product.
Sunil, HubSpot has an amazing sort of vibrant personality. I think you've developed, particularly over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Right? We see it on LinkedIn quite a bit.
Sure.
How do you think about humor as you're trying to reach and break through right in your space?
Absolutely. I think, look, at HubSpot, fundamentally in our category, we're a joyful brand. And so humor is part of our authentic sort of being and personality. And we know our audience enjoys it. It gives them a moment of levity in their day, right? We're all very serious at work, but it gives them a way to sort of either kind of have a moment to laugh or reflect on the nature of their work or kind of joke with their peers. And we kind of see ourselves on social as like your friend.
That's awesome. What kind of response are you getting from marketers to that strategy?
Extraordinary. I mean, I think even just on LinkedIn alone, we saw 80% year-on-year growth. And then from an engagement perspective, we're seeing anywhere quarter over quarter between 5 and 13%. So it's working effectively for us.
Yeah, that's great. Judy, how does your team think about LinkedIn as a channel, as a platform, to like leverage and reach your audience?
Of course. I mean, we leverage LinkedIn for longer form storytelling, We love to talk about key topics. Meta is a brand that is in the news and out front in every part of this world, right? And so on key meaty topics like elections or youth safety or safety integrity, we can story tell but also get the key information and facts out with LinkedIn with a very efficient way. We also, one of the things that we tell our marketers, right, and our brands that we serve and our clients and our agencies is the same thing that we do, which is really leveraging LinkedIn also around cultural moments, right? So having your brand show up around Chinese New Year, Black History Month, Pride Month, which is the month that we're currently in, right? All these important things, right? Holiday shopping, leveraging LinkedIn to do that. Now, from a business brand standpoint, we leverage LinkedIn a lot to talk about all things product. We've talked a bit about, the two letters, AI, a lot as well. And so we're seeing just a ton of success. And we're so excited to see the CAPI solutions that you guys are launching and talking about here at Cannes as well.
That's awesome. I'll take a little bit of a detour, right? You mentioned AI, but yeah. I'm gonna stop first at Influencer Station. So I think that's one of the other things that is coming up a lot, sort of like in B2B circles. Like when you talk to B2B marketers, it's kind of a nascent thing, if you will. I think it's been on the B2C side quite a bit, obviously, particularly for you all. But generally speaking, how are you thinking about influencers as a part of your category and like how you reach marketers as a new channel almost?
It's not, actually HubSpot has created a HubSpot Media Network, and so we've been sort of early in building out a community of creators, and so we have a podcast network that has, influencers like the My First Million guys to our own sort of HubSpot CMO is also like Marketing Against the Grain. I think we feel that creators are like an essential part of the future strategy for B2B. They're so limited in use case currently, but we think there's such an opportunity because people want to trust other people. They don't only want to hear from brands. And so the reason why we think B2B influencers are kind of the next frontiers, they have expertise, whether it's in like AI or how technology is used or in marketing disciplines, whatever it is, they're functional experts. And so people can trust them in a different way than you kind of trust a brand.
Yeah. Judy, how does that differ from your kind of consumer side, if you will?
Yeah. I mean, look, we, excuse me, I totally agree with everything you said. I mean, at Meta, right, because I have the B2B hat on, but we're uniquely and inherently a B2B2C platform. But from a B2B standpoint, we've been leveraging creators, right? We don't call them influencers. We've been leveraging creators for years. We're not new to this, right? The whole concept of creator leveraging was essentially created on our platforms, right? And we have found that it is critical to brand trust, brand relevance, and also brand switching. And the data is there. Something like 78% of buyers that interact with large brands consider that if a creator is out there talking about that brand, they're more inclined to purchase, right? People don't want to hear from brands about how awesome they are. Totally. That they love to hear from a trusted creator that has credibility, authenticity in the space about why that brand truly resonates with them. And that's been a huge success for us. So what we try to do with our creator marketing is match talented, diverse, authentic creators with the brands that we serve.
That's amazing. So it's speaking a little bit about your strategy generally, right? Like particularly as you go into the next 6 to 12 months, let's say, content on LinkedIn obviously continues to evolve. You both do plenty of on the platform. How's your approach to LinkedIn evolving, right? Like both with the use of leveraging creators. I mean, I think Sunil, you just spoke, podcasting, video, there's all these things that are emerging and becoming more prevalent on the platform. How are you both thinking about how you evolve with the platform, you evolve with your audience, sort of, and how they're using places like LinkedIn? Maybe Sunil.
Sure. When I think about our social strategy in general and LinkedIn specifically, it's there are the 3 R's. There's relatability, relevance, and resonance, right? And so we want to make sure that we're using LinkedIn to talk about our products and kind of edutaining them, right? Not necessarily just pushing product on somebody, but contextualizing it for them. at the same time, we want to make sure that we're injecting playfulness into our LinkedIn content, which I know is sort of a newer strategy for most people, but we find that it works and it's actually like outperforming our other content. And so bridging those two worlds is kind of key to our future on LinkedIn. And we're also experimenting with some of the new platforms and kind of capabilities you guys have, like the thought leadership ads for certain types of content that are in the educational space. We have, HubSpot Professor, who we've tried out the thought leadership ads, and we've seen like pretty remarkable results on that. And he's speaking to a community of people who are just looking to learn.
Judy, what about you?
I mean, I think it's a great question. I mean, first of all, we are looking in the horizon to continue to not only leverage LinkedIn, but to continue to grow our storytelling there. But a part of the larger approach as far as how we're growing our marketing, we're really leaning into the idea that marketing is changing drastically, right? And how we create our marketing, how we create our content, when it gets created, by who, how we leverage AI and supercharge it, and make sure that our content moves at the speed of not only culture, but also of our businesses is critical for us. And so there's a couple areas that, I'll quote one of our great VPs at Meta, Jimmy Stone, who's a legendary creative, and he's talking about the fact that creative itself will be automated, which we'll leverage also on all of our platforms as well as LinkedIn, but creativity will uniquely be human. And we're going to continue to use that as our mantra as we continue to lean in on things like Meta Advantage, which is our AI-powered ad platform, that then we've actually been leveraging platforms like LinkedIn to get the word out, to educate, to inform.
Yeah. As we wrap, I really want to sort of like ground us back to where we started, right? Which is like, again, creativity, sort of like where we are today. The lines between B2C and B2B are becoming increasingly blurred. I feel like, the fact that we're all talking here, the fact that we're all here, right? In where this festival started, right? Which is like truly sort of B2C creativity and sort of like that sort of like more brand sort of like led conversation. A lot of what you both do is blend that very, very elegantly, right? It's like, how do you bring that personality and humanity into your brands while still delivering on like baseline and sort of like driving the product? How do you think about that blend for both of your brands, right? As you move forward, how do you think about the things that you can learn from B2C and the things that you think B2C should learn from B2B, if you will? Maybe Judy, if you will.
Yeah, look, my entire career has been in this intersection of B2B to C, and at Meta, we see so much through line between not only our company brand, but what we do on the business side. Some of the key areas that we're looking just to continue to lean into is around leveraging emotion. Right, we're still on cloud nine. As a company, we just won a Grand Prix about an emotional story around the Afghan women's national soccer team. That was like a docu-series, but it's still about, and it's how they leverage WhatsApp. But that created emotion, right, in a way that shows not only the business imperative, but also the consumer aspect. And so I think leveraging not only emotion and making sure that we understand the audience in a way that allows us to communicate clearly is a key area. But also, we as a company want a through line between all things that because we have the unique purchase that all of our brands also leverage our platforms personally. So sometimes there's not even a dissection there, but leveraging that personal connection you have, but putting it in a business construct and showing that through line is something that we're continuing to work on every day.
Look, I started my career on the consumer side. I'm now in the B2B space. It's just very obvious as B2B buyers are also just people at the end of the day. And so when you're connecting with someone, you're connecting with another human. And to your point, similarly, I think about Q4 of last year, we had a campaign to promote a sales product. And we tied it all around this idea of Q4. And like in sports and in business, to win your quarter, your business, your year, you have to win the fourth quarter. And so it was just finding a connection with our audience and something that they can all relate to. And I think more and more you're going to see B2B brands, I hope, connect with their audience in that way.
Thank you, Sunil. And with that, we've reached the end of our time together. Judy and Sunil, thank you again so much for taking the time to share your insight and experience with our audience. And thank you to you, our viewers, for watching.